This to me was more of a like, hey man, we're normal people like you guys are.
I'm not up. I'm drunk. And then when I'm done with that, I put Vaseline actually around the edges. Just ordered somebody.
And we're back to another episode of Tops Daily Grind, episode 132. And today we have the honor of having Josh Navarrete with Navarrete Knives.
Navarrete. You sound like a no sabo kid.
You do. Sound like a no sabo kid.
Sorry. I didn't know how you wanted me to pronounce it.
It's got two R's, so there's a specific way to pronounce it.
Navarrete.
Yeah, welcome, Josh.
Yeah,
welcome.
thanks, guys.
Thanks for being and accepting this challenge.
Well, you know.
Yeah. He didn't know what he was getting into in his defense, so.
I honestly didn't.
We went out for dinner, and then we had to do like a beer run and liquor run. And he's like, "What the hell did I get into?"
No.
And then we pull into this house, and it's like, he had to have thought he was never leaving here.
Yeah, I'm surprised. I guess I'm not driving one of those big white vans.
Last year
cargo vans. No, what is funny is that when we walked into the supermarket, you have these big, 5 big guys going in, and they pull up a case of beer and a pack of tortillas. I kid you. The cashier, I'm sure she had no freaking clue.
I told her we were making chilaquiles.
Okay.
That explains.
That is actually what those tortillas are for.
Yeah. So she was like, "Oh, yeah, cool."
Well, I guess she was relieved to hear what the reason was, because if you didn't, she definitely would have tried to guess what the hell was going on. No, well, thanks, guys. Thanks, guys, for inviting me. And,
So why are you here?
I have no idea. Based on what you guys have been telling me, I've been kidnapped.
No,
So-
I mean, like for real. Why are you here? For the people. We know why you're here.
Oh, okay. So
He's looking at Craig like,
I realized how messed up that sounded, but it was not intentional.
Jeez.
I feel dizzy. Why?
well, that water.
I never hit record.
So everybody listening, I know some of you know that Josh is one of our new designers for Tops Knives. So that's the intro.
That's why he's here. Yeah, that's what I meant. That's what I meant. Yeah,
that's pretty much what it is. Well, so I'm here to support you guys, obviously, and promote the design that I came out with.
The Armando?
The Armando. The Armado.
That's what John called it.
The Armando.
I called it that?
Yeah. The Armando.
Same thing.
Close enough.
It's Armado. Armado
6.5.
6.5.
Because it's
6.5. That's it.
Blade
length. Yep.
And the Armado is based on a design that I've been working on for, I want to say, about 4 years now. So it's the grandchild of several revisions, but
did you make that model for your custom stuff?
Yes. Yep. Yeah. And it became very popular, actually, design. And I'm the type of person that always love to ask for feedback. And if the feedback doesn't happen organically, like people telling me, "Oh, this is great," I actually go and look for it. I actually go and ask direct questions to customers who I haven't heard back from, and ask them really what they think about, the blade. And so Armado is basically a combination of all the feedback that I got from customers. Plus, what you guys added, your touch to it. It definitely.
Not you, not talking about you.
John, yeah. I mean, because it came out so good, I know John didn't touch it.
No. All right, thank you guys for joining us in another episode.
Sorry, I had to break that.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah, that was good. Sorry, John. It's contagious, man.
I know. It's all Craig's fault. If anybody knows Craig, you know exactly what I'm talking about.
How is it my fault?
Now you're offended.
How is it my fault?
I can't believe you can just
Clearly, it's Leo's fault.
You still could be offended.
Clearly, it is Leo's fault.
No le hables.
Oh my God!
What number are you?
And he just agrees. Oh man.
Oh shit.
Oh man.
Yeah.
But no, that's when you say the feedback. I like feedback, but I like feedback from people like end users for sure. but that are end users, not that just touched one knife and now they think they can design.
Yes.
I hate that.
Or
kind
the
of
couch ninja that never actually held the knife in the first place.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because you're never going to get it perfect for everybody. You know, and that's the feedback that I don't. It's funny, but then again, it's annoying.
Mm-hmm.
You know, because you know those people, they've never used it. But anybody that's going out in the bush, just regular mom and dad that go out and they use their knives. You know, that I know a lot of people that go with their kids, they go camping. I like that feedback because that's the feedback. That's how I design. People that like when I go out and I play with my family, I'm not military, I'm not law enforcement, so I know, so I sort of base on what I would use, even on a weekend hunt, or we leave on Friday or Friday morning and come back Friday night, and I'm not staying up there for 2-3 weeks. Military, law enforcement, that feedback I like.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that everybody that has given me a feedback, I trust. You know, number one, I'm too old to get,
When you say you're
offended.
too old, how old are you?
I'm gonna be 47 this year, man.
Yeah, you're old. Just kidding.
I'm surprised John didn't say
He's
that.
gonna hit the button, and we're done
Jesus
today.
Christ.
I'm surprised John's not the one that
Okay,
said
good
that.
night, everybody.
Jeez.
Yeah, man. It's I'm too old to get offended. You know, and in a way, I really appreciate actually honest feedback. And when somebody gives you feedback, right away, if it's just BS or they're just patronizing you or not. And, I tell everybody, I know I'm the greatest thing you ever known, but please, that doesn't help me at all. Tell me really the real.
Yeah,
feedback.
I get sometimes guys that they're just a normal day worker that come to a knife show, and he tells me something that I see that he's real genuine in what he's telling me and why it would work for him. I really do take that into consideration, either on that design when I modify it, or on something new that I make. You can tell. But when it's like, well, yeah, if it was gray, I would buy it. Oh, fuck you.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah, because inevitably we'll make it gray and they will not buy it.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, absolutely. So I've been blessed really with the people who actually really care about me doing well, and
you're surrounded by a lot of people in the knife world.
yeah, it's you know how the knife world is, man. I personally have never really met a knife maker that is not that is a hater. I mean, I'm sure that there's plenty out there and everything, but everybody that has come to me and really offer advice or just kudos, whatever, they've been great, and because I mean we're really very supportive of each other.
Yeah, and this is like I've always said it. There's so much out there for everybody.
Yes.
But there's little tricks of the trade that you want to sort of keep. Because that's what makes, that's what makes tops. Mm-hmm. There's a touch that you see a knife for a mile away and that's a tops knife. Things like that. But other than that, materials and stuff, if it's materials, it's a tough one. Because we use a lot of it. And so when you tell this person, tell this person, then it's impossible for us to get. So sometimes that's tough. But if you're like, hey, I'm making a custom, can I get some? I thought, that's how we do it.
Yeah. Chefs, you keep some recipes to your own, to yourself. But I think that one of the biggest things with me is I always try to find opportunities to pass down the information some way, somehow.
Yeah, well, shit. Just tell us a little bit about how old is this new project you started working on?
So I.A.C.T. So I've been about a year before I went to Fortune Fire. I had this thought about what.
So we're with somebody famous.
We are, yes. I don't think John realized that, so now he's going to get all weird.
Now he's gonna get
Senor.
shaky.
You know what? Before you continue, put that microphone just a little closer to your mouth.
Oh, for you.
Yeah, for you. Yep.
There you go.
Close, like uncomfortably close to your mouth.
Really?
No se lo coma, por favor.
There you go.
Good Lord.
Yes.
Oh my God. Yeah. All
Yeah,
right.
that just clear. It sounds good.
Yeah. Can I lick it? Because
If you want to.
That's Jesus, so you probably.
Yes,
Yeah,
you
go
can
for it.
definitely like
no,
it.
that's not right. that feels weird.
Jesus, when he comes back home,
Yeah.
what's up with this?
Yeah. And John, now that you know I'm famous, I'm not signing your boob. All right.
Yeah, you're not gonna get a tattoo.
Yeah, sorry, man.
All right, man. Work here is done.
I only.
I wish.
Yeah, so about a year before I went to the show, I had this thought about really giving back. My background is supportive employment, and I've been helping people with disabilities and other barriers to employment to find jobs, and that I've been doing that since 1999. So through the years, I met a lot of amazing vets, and I found a gap where our vets can go to different places where they can get trained on welding and business and all that good stuff. But there was no place where they could go and just blow off some steam with no really predisposed expectation or anything. Just to go, because here's the thing, and you guys know, Leo, you know that most vets don't like to sit down and talk about their problems to somebody else.
Or talk about their past, or
Nothing, So, in us, it's unfair for us to expect them to actually do that, because that's the only way that you can get better, or that's no. So I thought, maybe I can go ahead and just give them the opportunity just to come and blow off some steam, just completely unplug, because that's what blacksmithing is, and knife making in general. It's a way to disconnect.
It's a relaxing. I don't know how to explain it.
Yeah, it's it's therapy for many, including me. That fortunately, we all have a certain level of PTSD because today we are an echo of our past. Today we are who we are because of small and big traumas. So we all have a certain level of stress and PTSD and anxiety. So when you do a task like this, it completely unplugs you from everything, and becomes therapy. The more you do it, it becomes more therapy. If you notice, after you guys spend,
and you have something to look forward to.
Absolutely, something
that's the
to show for.
main thing.
Yeah. So I thought, okay, I'm gonna go ahead and provide them a space and a little instruction on how to start this up, and then little by little, they start to actually come out of their shell, and then they start meeting other people in the same situation, and then the conversation starts, and then you start finding out how else can you help them out, and you act as almost like a referral program as well, and then basically they start getting better, and you guys know, after you do whatever hobby that you guys have besides making knives. I know it's a hobby for you guys, right? It's not a job.
Yeah, for me it is.
Yeah.
It is. I love what I do.
At the end of the day, you relax. Mentally, you might be physically tired, but mentally, you're leveled, So you sleep like a baby, and again, your anxiety has minimized. That's what I, noticed, and just it's noble from there.
So with this program you have, so say, no, you're not. Like, I'm a vet.
Yeah.
How do I go? Like, how do I find Josh Navarrete? Or what's the organization?
It's I.A.C.T. I.A.C.T stands for Industrial, Creative, and Artistic Therapy. And so, we have a website. And the way it works is, if you're interested in joining, there's the core program, which is about 80 hours of training or instruction. And that actually includes the blacksmithing, knife making, leather work as well, and wood turning. After that, or during the time that you're taking some training, and it can be a few hours here, a few hours there, you also are trained to become a mentor. And the training is done by Valor Mentoring, which is another organization that is local to us. They focus on at-risk youth, but they train their mentors to become mentors. After that, you are basically paired with and this is another element of the program where we have a mentorship program. So we.
Camera's good?
Sorry, I'll check it in.
So we pair a vet with a young adult to come to the shop and work on projects together. Those projects are going to be aimed. They're going to be pieces that have been commissioned by the public. So let's just say that you want a set of stick knives with a butcher block that matches the knives. Well, here's your quotes, but you know that was created by a vet and a young adult. So in a way, that gives our vets a long-term mission. It's not like come take a class and then okay, see you later. Go ahead and sign up for the next class. No, it's you give them something to continue being involved. Plus, you also give these kids another opportunity. And you know that many of these kids who are identified as at-risk youth, they don't have a father figure. Many of them don't have. And we know, and it's very well documented, that without a father figure, kids tend to derail, a lot more. In my opinion, vets are the best mentoring machine because they have the structure, they have the confidence, and plus you give them something as important as the mentorship of a kid. Our kids need people who do not give up on them. Our vets do not give up, as long as you give them the proper training, support, and resources.
Yep.
And to me, it was almost like a no-brainer. I'm not very smart, but when I started thinking about this program, I thought the idea is very simple. The cool thing about all of this as well is that it can be duplicated. If other places, other shops, and other cities, counties, states want to do something similar, this can be duplicated very easily. And we have actually created a community, really, to the point where the city police department foundation is looking to send police officers to go and take classes with us to relieve stress. The firefighters department, the same thing.
What part is this at? Where are you located?
In Kaiser, Oregon. Salem and Kaiser, Oregon, they're basically together already. So Salem is the capital of Oregon. And even the city of Kaiser, they have a wellness program. So they're looking to also refer their workers to take classes with us. So what I tell the police departments and the firefighters, like, think about this. If you send us your current active, members right now, you're gonna be paying for those classes, and that is gonna go to a program that after they retire, they can come back and use these services for free. So it's a circle. It's you do something right now for this program, and those guys and gals are gonna come back and use this service for free.
So this is all funded through projects that you get from the public?
But yes, there will be. So it is being developed. That part is being developed right now, and we're gonna have like an online catalog.
Oh, sweet.
To where you can be ordering certain things, custom things, or wallets and things like that. So that is the plan right there. And we've got a lot of good support from the community. Everybody's really excited about what we're doing. But, really, everything's for the vets, man.
And this is out of your time, your own time?
Yes, I actually end up quitting my full-time job with the county because I could not handle this just enough after work or on the weekends. Mm-hmm. And our vets do not deserve me to do a half-ass job. And that's what I felt I was doing at the very beginning. Trying to obviously provide for my family and everything, but I had to make a decision. If I wanted this program to be successful, it doesn't matter if you have the perfect plan. It doesn't matter. The idea is excellent. If you don't put the time on it, nothing's going to move forward.
Right.
So I needed to really, and here's the thing, people talk about, hey, you need to work hard. No, I believe that what you need to do is to work happy. If you work happy, you will never work hard in your life. And I'm doing what I love to do right now.
There's always that one saying, it's kind of opposite though, because I understand what you mean. There's like, you won't, if you're doing something that makes you happy, you're not working. you know, but that's not true. Like, I don't believe in that because, like, we were actually talking about this the other night. Like, and I know you asked, like, what do I do for Tops, I guess, but I do video and I love doing video.
You get paid for that?
Apparently, yeah.
Is he a volunteer? Because, what else?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
so,
I mean-
so John does the social media with Jesus. Jesus has been with me with Tops
At least 10 years.
At
if
least
not
10 years.
11.
Okay.
And he started doing the video, the photos, stuff like that. We started getting him help. We had another fellow that just did his own thing not so long ago, and then John, you know, anytime there's a video, we send him, and he's always the one. But now, like, he's been a big part of shows. Like when we do shows, he's a big part of it too. But yeah, that's what John does.
Besides breaking things and making
Besides,
it more
it costing
expensive.
me a lot of money.
He's done that a lot less lately than he did the first year or so.
Okay. But still doing it, though.
Yeah.
Every now and then he'll still break something. Yeah.
Very small thing.
But then on the side, like for him, for the weekend and stuff, he has his own gig where he does his own shoots and stuff like that.
Okay.
And that's what he was getting to.
Yeah, so I mean, I'm always doing video. Like, I leave work and I'm doing video on my own, and then I'm out of work, I'm still doing video, but I don't feel like it's a burden. Like, yes, I get stressed, which stress is not because of the actual work, but it's like the performance. Like you said, you can't half-ass a job, so there's always stress. But like, I don't get tired. Like, I don't get off work and I'm like, I keep going, and then the next day is the same thing. And yeah, you get burned out from time to time, just like any normal person. But once you get to that point that you're actually doing, like you said, like he'll sometimes stay after work to go and you know, we can't follow him every day all the time, but I'm sure he's having fun too. So there's always that balance of like, you find something that makes you happy, you can keep going, like you said, as long as you're not half-assing it.
And it's a cliche, right? But it's a cliche that really, you know, it's very true. It's, you know, once you find it, and it's interesting, but once you find what you really love to do, you actually start finding time to do other things because you're not depressed. If you're doing something that sucks, that you don't like it, you know, even if you do the job because of work ethic,
You never find nothing.
you go back home and you're depressed.
All you want to do is sit down.
Sit
All you
down,
want to do
watch
is
TV,
relax.
Exactly right. Exactly. And that's what was happening to me when I was with the county. I was helping a lot of people, don't get me wrong. A lot of families and a lot of people, but that was not what I wanted to do. And every time I went home, even my wife, and you know, I mean, I'm a very laid back type of guy. I'm always laughing and everything. And when I was at the county, my wife will tell me that my attitude will change. My fuse started getting shorter. And she told me, you know, I went to my clinical supervisor. I told Mike, you know what, I need to get out of here. Before I become toxic, I need to get out of here because then that's not going to just affect my families that I'm helping. It's you guys. I need to get out of here. Once I left, my wife completely saw me now more at home, playing with Natalia, spending time with my daughter and everything, planning to do things, doing here. And, I mean, she really saw the change. I didn't even notice it, but I was feeling it. You know, I mean, and after a while, and then we started finding time to going out because besides that, all I wanted to do is just stay home and just watch TV and just do nothing. So you become depressed, and that completely eats your free time that you're supposed to have. But so, and this is what is, you know, happening today. Obviously, you know, I still need to provide and try to make a living and everything. So that's where the stressful part comes. Yeah. But it comes with the job, right? I mean, you find ways of making it work. Now, with that being said, you definitely need a partner. If you're married, you need a partner that is on the same page. If my wife would say, you know what, I don't think that's going to work, I don't think I will be doing this. So a big part was my wife saying.
I think all of us have the same situation. Yeah. If our, you know, better half didn't, you know, approve of this, we wouldn't be here. Yeah. Like Craig and I are always traveling. You know, these guys will, you know, John does most of them, and Dylan and other guys, they help us out a lot, but it's usually Craig and I and other people. Mm-hmm. You know, but it's true.
Yeah, that's it. Because if she's not agree with this, even if she's still like, well, yes or no, you still feel bad, you know, because and you know that you're providing, but at the same time, it's like you really need your partner.
¿Quieres comer sí o no? I'm just kidding.
You want to be
you do actually say that to her.
you
don't act like you don't say that to her because you do.
That was actually really nice.
Yeah, it's like you want to be warm during the winter or not, you know. So
let's take a break real quick.
So where were we? Oh yeah, on the partner thing. Yeah,
Yeah.
you have to have your partner and everything. So yeah, definitely that has.
So what's kind of I mean, I guess we can all kind of guess what your end goal is, but is there any way like you're trying to aim to make this like the state helping you fund it? Is that kind of the goal direction? Is that a possibility?
Yeah, it will have to be that way.
Yeah.
Well, not necessarily, I mean the state. I mean we're talking about federal and state grants, and we're going to be we're about to actually apply for the 501c3 tax exempt status for nonprofits. We're a nonprofit already. Racer is a nonprofit, but we still don't have that exempt status for taxes. So we cannot give receipts, stuff like that. We can take all the donations in the world because we still have about 2 years to get that exemption, so we can get donations.
Okay.
But definitely.
So how long has it been going, like, till now?
So almost a year now.
Yeah.
And and we receive some funds, but we got this 2,500 square foot shop, and it's fully equipped, everything there, grinders. And somebody came in one day and asked me, how do you how you found this? I mean, where did you get the money for all this and everything? I was like, well, I found out that I have a pretty good credit, so. But it had to be done that way. If I would have to actually wait and try to get the money other ways, I would not have a program right now.
Never would have got off the ground.
No, you need really an investor. In this case, I was the investor in everything. It had to be done. There's sacrifices. You have to sacrifice things. It comes with what you want to reach, and there's another cliche where they tell you, if you keep grinding, if you keep going, things are going to happen. It's actually true. I'm not going to lie. There were several times where I say, why in the world I'm doing this? I mean, it's my family also. Sometimes I will have to be taking Sunday to go into the shop and get things to work. The machine broke, stuff like that. And yeah, there were a couple of times with funding. It's like, why in the world am I putting myself through this? It will be so easy for me just to go back to my other job and just have my little shop at home and just do classes from there one-on-one and just, many times I thought about that, I swear. But the more I keep on it, the more things are happening. Like with the Wounded Warrior Project. That's something new that just happened a couple months ago. And actually, I don't know when this is going to air, but tomorrow, Saturday, it's going to be our first warrior class that we're going to, teach at the shop.
So right now when you said tomorrow, so tomorrow you're going to be here at the show.
Yeah, and we have.
Who does that?
So I'm blessed where I have actually support of 3 instructors, and 2 of them, actually 4 instructors, 3 of them I actually went to Fortune Fire. Nice. Yeah, so it's Anthony Fetters, Mike Johnson, and Ron. I cannot pronounce his last name. I know I'm gonna butcher it. Well, they went to Fortune Fire, and I believe they're all actually champions. So, and then the 4th one is Joe. He came took a class with me about a year ago. He got hooked with making knives, and he opened his own LLC now. Now he has his own forge, and he's the type of guy. He's not a vet. For some reason, I thought he was a vet, but he's not a vet. Well, what this guy does, he's an amazing guy. He makes blades, and he carries a bunch of blades on his backpack whenever he goes to the Saturday market or out. And if he meets a vet, he just pulls a blade out and he just gives them to him.
Wow.
I mean, just like that. And I've seen his skills developing. And I asked him one day, would you like to be an instructor? He's like, heck yeah. He's all over the place. So he's like the perfect example of somebody that is from the community who believes in what we're doing. And he got really hooked in making knives, and now he's also giving back to the community this way. So the class is being given by Mike Johnson, who's a Fortune Fire champion, and the so in the also the I'm not really sure what she is. I think she's like a big boss in the project in Oregon. She's gonna come to take pictures and everything just to promote this, and because it's a big deal. It's a huge deal.
So this class is being funded by the Wounded Warriors,
Yes,
and they're supplying the Wounded Warriors for the class as well.
correct. So they're sending
That's
their
cool.
warriors, and they're looking to do this every quarter now. Send warriors, and I haven't told them yet. Which I don't know if they're going to listen to the podcast. But I'm going to go ahead and also open one day a month for them to send us warriors to make something like a club type of thing, where they can come and just spend the day hammering and do whatever the heck they want. And I mean, we can host.
How many hammers do you have in there?
We have 4. We can have 4 forges. We have 8 anvils. We can fit. I mean, we also have the blacksmithing club, which is another thing. Just when it started.
Got a lot going on.
Oh my God, man! That's another idea. It's another idea that it came to my head, and we've been almost a year with it too. It's a blacksmithing club, where we have in Facebook we have like 125 members now, and we average about like between 15 and 17 people per meeting, and in there just sharing forges and anvils and just working on projects, and many of them are bringing their kids too. So that's something that I want to do for also the Wounded Warrior Project, is to host a day or a few hours, once per month, for them just to come and do whatever they want. Just the forges for them, and we'll have a couple instructors there to support them and everything.
Wow.
So when you do a thing like that, people say the Wounded Warriors, they come in once a month and they make something. Do they say that they grab a piece of steel, they grab a piece of handle material? Do they pay you for that? Like, how does that happen? How does that stock happen, basically?
So if we're talking about the Wounded Warrior Project, they just pay for the class. Just for them to take one whole day class and everything. But now that we're going to be doing that one day for Forge and everything, no, nothing. It's free for them.
They just show up and
all this steel, all they have to show up with is just with top leather shoes and pair of gloves if they want to, and everything is there for them. From steel to the propane, obviously the fuel is there, consumables, belts, grinders, presses, heat treatment ovens. If they want to do some wood turning, we have lathes. I'm putting together the leather working stations in one room on the side, where actually I'm bringing industrial sewing machines, where they can do aprons, they can do sheaths, they can do pretty much anything. So the whole idea is for anybody to come to the place and make a blade from scratch all the way to the sheath if they want to, and they would learn how to do all that.
But it's a cool thing you're doing. But like for me, I'm not a vet, but I would want to go do that class. I would want to go, I know how to make a knife or whatever, but I've never forged one. I've never known how to, stick it in fire and pound one out. I don't,
Yeah.
But yeah, like hearing it, I'll be like, fuck, that would be badass to do.
Forging, blacksmithing. I mean, knife making, bladesmithing is under the umbrella of blacksmithing, right? I mean, blacksmithing is just vast. It's just so many different aspects. When you in bladesmithing, really, it's about finesse. It's not about strength. So this touches every single age group and any gender. My youngest student, he's 8 years old. My oldest one, I was 82. And I get also a lot of couples where it's the girlfriend or the wife buying the class for the husband or the boyfriend because they want him out of the house. That's normally what happens, because they want him to get a new hobby, to get the hell out of the house because they cannot stand him anymore. But they end up coming, both of them together. And it's hilarious because at the end of the day, she's the one that ends up with a better looking knife. Because I tell everybody, dude, women are apes, man. We think that the harder we hit the steel, the better it's gonna look. It's not. It doesn't happen. And when I'm looking at her, you can see, the wife really methodically just hitting the steel and then really thinking about it. And I turn around and look at the guy like screaming at the blade, just like, and I tell the guys, slow down, man. I know you want to impress with those big muscles of yours, but you need to slow down. And so that's why it's one of those things that it's about finesse. So anybody can do it. Another thing that one more thing that I'm actually going to do is I've recruited. I recruited 3 so far, but I'm going to be recruiting a total of 4 young adults between the ages of 13 and 17. And they're going to come. It's going to be 2 boys and 2 girls. And they're going to come and they're going to make a blade and also a piece of art out of steel, out of metal. And we're going to enter those into the Marion County State Fair and the State Fair for judging.
That's cool.
They have this competition type of things where there's pottery and painting and quilting. I don't know what that thing is.
John enters a quilting.
I
Underwater.
have a pamphlet if you want.
Cross stitch. He's really into cross stitching.
Oh, very nice.
Yeah.
Hey, nothing wrong with that, man. Just don't poke yourself.
That was a joke. He's probably never done that.
You might like it.
Yeah, I'll stick to video.
Like I said, you look like a very gentle person, so I think it will be good. And like I tell you, have very soft hands.
I don't have soft hands, actually. I worked in construction for a lot of years.
Not anymore.
So there you go.
You have soft hands, bro.
Nope.
Okay.
So
Threw them off.
just a little. Jesus.
They're super close.
I know,
Yeah.
I know. And you know that little spark on the corner of Leo's eyes when he went and reached out to touch his leg. That was very special.
And you can tell John really likes it.
And you can tell he got really jealous.
John likes it a lot.
John's breathing started pumping up like
Horrible.
Yep.
A little bit.
that sweat in
Like he's
front of his
getting all
forehead.
red. Blushing over there.
His puffy lips start getting all red.
Nah, I'm always already popping.
It's okay, man. You're among friends, I guess, No, but in this categories, they have pottery and they have all this stuff, and they have the metal, area, but they don't have nothing in between that ages. So that's our goal, to get these kids going. Because to me, also, we need to get the kids off the couch and do something, and
Off their phones.
Hit their face out of the screen.
it's just insane how it is. It is sad, and because here's the thing, right now it's high schools, right? Everybody's talking about high schools. Yeah, we need to get on high school kids, but if you guys remember high school, all the thing, anything the only thing that I care about in high school is how I looked, my chick, and what I was driving. I was invincible. I knew everything. Right? I mean, nothing could touch me. I was able to take over the world. So I didn't need no stinking, skills. So my whole thing is about go younger, because I remember before high school, I remember in middle school when I used to pull things apart. That's when I used to get yelled at by my parents saying, "Hey, what are you doing?" And just pull the radio apart, and now I cannot put it back together. But that was because I was so, interested in seeing how things worked. That's when you want to get them. I want to go younger now. Look at 4-H Club. Those little dudes, those little girls, they started very young and raising chickens, pigs, and cows at that young age. So if we're able to get kids into, going through experiences like this, they're going to be better later on in life. They're not going to be completely attached to something, in front of their eyes, like, just cameras and, phones and computer stuff. They're actually going to have enough experiences so they can actually make, other better choices. So if we're able to get them into that, just experience it, then, Because, in our generation, like I said, I'm 47, man. In my generation and the one before me, society told us, you know what? Don't be a welder, don't be a plumber, because that's beneath you. Go for high tech. Mm-hmm. Go for the office job, because that's where the glamour is. That's where the big money is right now. That's where everything goes. So there goes high schools. That's when they close shop in high schools, and they start putting money into technology. So, boom, there you go. Then you have this influx of people into technology and everything, and good luck in finding a welder, an electrician nowadays. Yep. And those who exist today, they're making a killing in money. They're actually
Yeah,
deciding
they make
how
more
much
than
they
Office.
want.
They make more than this.
Way more. And then you get Microsoft and you get all these big tech companies, firing people now by the masses.
Yeah, because now it's doing itself.
Yeah, like
Exactly.
didn't Elon fire like 80% of Twitter employees or something? Some
There you
crazy percentage.
I think Microsoft, was it Microsoft?
Just did some layoffs.
Just did some massive fucking
Yeah,
layoffs.
a cap. Yeah, so now that's another thing. How could we expect people in our generation to tell our kids, "Hey, go be a welder, a plumber," if ourselves were not wired that way? We are wired like, "Oh no, go high tech." Well, who do we rely on? Well, schools. Well, schools close shop. So what do we do? Well, my goal is to go and talk to the school districts, which I did a demo on one small school district in the area, and they love what they saw, and I saw a lot of kids involved and really getting engaged. So my goal is to go to middle schools and even younger, just to go ahead and do a demo or presenting what we have and everything, and have a partnership going so we can get a lot of these kids out to experience all these things, because shop is not existing in high schools right now. And that's what it got me into knowing how to use my hands.
So let me stop you right there real quick. So, like back at home for me, and I know my brother's a knife maker too. Do you ever get high school kids trying to do their
Senior project.
senior project
yeah.
making a knife?
No.
Really?
I know that there will be so many of them interested, though.
Yeah. So there is, but the only I guess downside for me right now is that they get there and they're like, okay,
They're just doing it because they need
and
something.
they're looking at you like, do it.
Like do it. Yeah.
Yeah, and you're like, oh no, you grab it and you start doing this, and they don't know how to use the tool.
Right?
They don't know how to start a goddamn
Yeah.
drill press, bandsaw. You won't let them close to it because they're gonna chop their fingers off.
Yeah.
It's sad. It really is.
It is. I mean, they don't even know what the difference is between a Phillips screwdriver and a flathead, even if they're looking at him.
No,
The flathead is a
That does-
flathead.
that
we
happens,
know
yeah.
it. We play around with that, but it's so true.
It is, yeah. And
Like
it's
I got
sad.
my teenager, I got my 20-year-old, and I got my daughter. She's 17. She's gonna be 18. But if I tell her go get me a Phillips, they're looking at me like,
A what?
no, de cruz, cabrona. Like
Yep.
Phillips, like a TV? Like a
Yeah, you mean my phone? Yeah, and I when at the juvenile department, I work for the juvenile department one day a week. In the juvenile department, all those juveniles who cannot pay the restitution back to society because they don't have a job because they're the age, they are given the chance to go and get involved into the matrix or field programs. Well, those programs, they have a wood shop and a metal shop, so we're dealing with 12-year-old kids all the way to 17, and they learn a lot of good skills and everything. Well, one day I got this kid. He was like 17, and I'm teaching him how to wood turn, and we were measuring the piece that he needed. So I told him, okay, go ahead and cut this at 1.5 inches. No, 1 3/4. He had no idea what I was talking about. He had no idea how to use a ruler.
yeah, there's other people that we know that don't know how to use one.
Yeah. Well, I sat down with the kid.
He's talking about John.
I know, he looked at John. John started fiddling his fingers like, is he talking about me? And he's like, is he looking at me?
Josh immediately understood too.
John, it's so sad that I got that right away. Why, dude?
It's because of him.
Maybe, but
It's
it's
because of
still.
me?
Yeah, he taints.
It was Leo. It was literally
anybody
Leo.
and everybody.
God,
Damn
that was so organic and scary. It was like, oh my God, dude.
Oh my god!
No, seriously, have you thought about why?
Because of Craig. I just,
How is it my fault?
I
He's
don't
the
know,
one that
man.
made the joke. Oh my gosh.
what number are you?
Oh man.
I don't know, man. Well, anyways, yeah, that was pretty bad.
But yeah, no, it is sad. It
Yeah.
is sad that a lot of these kids don't know how to use a
Yeah.
tape measure.
Yeah.
I said
But
that,
then again,
yeah.
like in middle school, they taught us how to. I had wood class, and I knew how to read a tape measure.
Yeah.
And now like you show a ruler to a kid, and they're like, "What?
What are all these
Yeah.
lines?
Like you want me to do
Yeah.
a straight line?"
Well, I sat
Like,
down with this
seriously.
kid. And when I realized he had no idea what I was talking, I was like, okay, sit your ass down. We're gonna go ahead and have a real crash course.
Yeah, we're gonna
I
start
swear
from
to
scratch.
you, yeah, start from scratch. And and it was amazing. Once he understood, 3/16, 1/8, half an inch, his eyes light up. I kid you not. It was like an aha moment where he thought
You really do open another door.
such a big
do.
door. I mean, the possibility is like he was the next day. He was still bragging about learning how knowing how to read a tape measure. It was that.
Like I'm all right with it. I can sort of see a thickness or something, and I
Mm-hmm.
can tell you exactly just by looking at it on a table, and I'm like, that's 3/16, that's quarter. But I've been doing it for so long.
Right.
And my daughter, she gets a kick out of it because I'm like, yeah, that's about half inch. She'll go grab a ruler and grab
Holy
it.
hell, it's not. Damn.
I get a kick out of it too, actually, because it's uncanny. That motherfucker can look at anything and be like, "That's about that big," and in my head, I'm like, "You think?" And he's like, "Yes."
Yeah,
And I'll
I'm doing
measure
a
it
drawing.
and just
I'm
be like,
doing a
"What
drawing,
the
and
fuck?"
Jesus helps me like with the CAD, with the and I'll draw it out, and I'm like, yeah, we'll do it a half inch, and I'll draw it, and he takes it back. He's like, holy shit, that's a half.
That's
inch.
half an inch.
Yeah.
Holy crap.
Yeah.
Yeah, and those are I'm telling you, those basic skills. It is sad, but it is true. They don't even know that, and so that is one of my biggest goals as well. It's just to get the kids as young as possible. Somebody said, "Well, at 12 years old, handling hot stuff," and man, I go, "No, sorry, we're dealing that with the juvenile department today." At 12 years old. So don't give me that crap. Then in high school, we cannot do that. We're doing it in the juvenile department. So it is possible. It has to be done. But unfortunately, there's a lot of red tape.
Of course.
But yeah, of course, it's always red tape. But that is my goal. And I know that if the parents are given, the plan, and give the kids the opportunity to actually experience this, I kid you not, everybody will love and jump on it.
And it's true because, say a parent, you got a kid, he's a troublemaker, and you're like, just sign this paper and let me just a little bit that you teach him, and you test him. He's a little hard ass. What the fuck are you gonna tell me what to do? I bet you can't forge that blade out. Oh really? I'll bet you anything. Yeah. And you get him going, and then you see their talent come out, and then he wants to try because he wants to make it look really badass.
Yeah.
And that just gets them forget about everything else.
Yeah.
That's one of the things that's
really
missing
good
with
idea.
a lot of just really any subject. Like you get your history teachers, and all they do is teach the fucking curriculum, and that's it. But if you can get a kid to come to an aha moment for anything, history, math, blacksmithing, whatever it is, that aha moment, that's where your job is done.
Mm-hmm. And it's
Now
snowballs.
they're interested, and you let them figure it out, and they'll find their own aha moments. But
as long as you're there
hard
to help
get
them,
there. Yeah.
to help them and guide them, like don't use this,
Yep.
and let their imagination. They're good.
It's snowballs.
Yep, it does.
Yep.
And
Yep.
the beauty about all of this is once our kids learn a new skill, they have no problem in teaching it to others. If you tell them, dude, you're not just going to have this, skill on you. You're going to have the opportunity to teach others. And the beauty about our kids is that if you tell them that, hey, let's go ahead and start helping other people, they jump on it right away because they have no agenda. We adults are the ones with agendas.
Correct.
And we always look at what is our benefit in some way, somehow. Kids, it's like one of the things that I'm also wanting to do is, while the program is running, is to actually have them build things, knives or whatever it is, ornamental stuff, and donate that to other organizations for them to raise funds during their fundraising events.
But even for kids, so that is cool. But even for young kids that don't have income or that don't know about that, but they can make a piece, whether it's ornamental, like you said, or it's a knife, and they see money coming in, and how much people pay for something like that.
Mm-hmm.
That right there, like, holy shit, this is fun, and I can make that much money.
Yep. Yeah.
It is. It is.
Yeah, it is. No, it definitely is. And and again, in what I've done, many times in the past, I make a knife and I donate it to organizations, for them to raffle it. Last one that I actually donated raised like $700, which was great. It was a really good, fundraise. That's what I want also the kids to learn. That it's always good to do and make something for other organizations. And once they know that, they really put a lot of effort in it.
I made one for
away.
an organization.
Yeah, he donated one to a charity.
That's really hard, dude. So, but It's not cherry.
John can't get that sheath out of his pocket.
I have to use my Leatherman to pry it off.
What?
Yeah, that's
You
all.
can't just open that with your finger?
and it's
No,
tight.
dude, it's
Those are tight. I understand, but
Nice.
you can't open that with your finger?
no, bro.
I made that for John for Christmas.
Yeah.
Oh, nice, man. You're helping poor kids.
And
That's
then
good,
Craig,
huh?
Craig made me the leather sheath, but I'd love to show you
But you
guys. But I
can't
can't get it out of my
Craig made
pocket.
the leather sheet.
I can't get it out. Like I really.
That's there.
Oh,
Dude, but look at
that.
that.
The
got
nail.
it.
Yeah, dude, it is tight.
Careful, man.
Yeah,
you,
those are
you have very soft hands.
Please
Careful.
do not close the clip.
Oh, yeah. This is
The first thing he does is close it.
Yeah, wait, this?
Dude, it's really
Oh, my
hard.
God.
No, it is tight.
Yeah, that one's tight.
Wow.
That one's got a really strong spring.
There you go.
Thank you.
Yeah, but it's tight.
It is tight. Yeah. Well, that's, that's kind of one of the things that I want, to implement. And, again, everybody
That still hold pretty
would
tight?
love to that.
Yeah.
Yeah, good.
It's my Sunday cruiser.
Oh, nice. Man.
I don't really want to use it. Like, I just use it to open packages, but I don't want to. And I have a bad tendency of.
The black robe big time on this, huh?
Yeah.
Off of the sheath?
Tell that sheath maker to.
I tried to seal it, but
It's okay.
No, but it's tight. It's
that
nice.
dye sometimes will
Well, it's
leach a little
nothing
bit.
lasts forever, man. So the more you use it, the more you carry it. Of
Yeah,
course, it's gonna have
100%.
some, but it's gonna age like wine. That's what leather does, So
Yeah, but it's whole. Yeah, man. I'm.
Yeah, Craig's
beyond.
getting really fucking solid at this leather work.
nice.
Really good.
Now
I hope so.
You can kind of like you'll go look at other. I tend to do it because I like how smooth. Like, and you go and look at someone. I'm like, oh, I'm like,
Slick it, yeah.
yeah, but
That's really nice, man. Yeah, so,
Forge and Fire. Then,
so pretty.
what episodes are you on? So people can go check out your episodes.
Season 6,
But
episode
John
9.
can go check out your episode.
Yeah, John's gonna go watch it tonight.
Season 1.
Season 6,
Maybe
episode 9.
Stalker. Maybe I should give him a different thing. So
No, you won that first episode. You were
You ever
on.
go back and watch your own?
Have you ever watched it?
only half of episode. It's so weird. It's so weird to to watch. It's so weird for me to watch myself on TV. It's just and it's funny because a lot of people say
Do you criticize yourself?
Oh, I do.
well
No, I want to hear.
It's interesting, but
You're like, why the fuck did I do that? I should have done this.
well, but here's the thing. I mean, when you watch Fortune Fire, number one, they don't show everything that happens, right?
Right.
So in a way, kind of Fortune Fire completely kill the TV magic for me because now I know how things are. So whatever you see 50 minutes of a show, that's about 600 hours of footage.
Jeez.
It's a lot of footage, and they don't show everything. So in a way, when I watch myself doing this, doing that, there's a couple things where, man, if I would have known, I would have done this way. But I understand what place I was in that moment. So, and I think when I say that it's weird watching myself on the show, it's because I don't like to brag about things. I'm not like that. Even in the shop, somebody told me, man, you should have a big sign where it says Fortune Fire Champion because it's your shop, right? I don't have that. I just don't,
And a lot of people, they tend to like make sure people know about it.
And that's a weird thing for me.
It's gonna be a free ride.
It's a little claim. It's a little claim to fame. It's I understand it. I can understand that because it gets people to at least trust your work. Like that side of it, I can understand.
Yeah, and I do too.
But if they
I do
just
too to a
if they
certain point.
just
Yeah.
ride the coattails of
I
that,
do too to a certain point. Even though, like I'm the president of Top Knives, but ask any guy that travels with me when they ask, "What do you do?" I never say I own Tops.
Yeah.
Only when I have to. Or when somebody's being a piece of shit to one of my guys.
Yeah.
Or something. That's when I do it. But usually they're like, "What do you do there?" Clean the shop.
Yeah.
Oh shit! Well, keep working at it. You'll get somewhere.
Yes.
And
I can't tell you how
totally fine
many
with that.
times
Yeah.
where I've had to be like, he owns the place, and people will be like,
Oh, it's not.
"Oh, really?" And then they change.
Yeah.
They'll direct to him.
They'll change the way they talk to him after that.
Yeah,
which
like
is-
even
which is
this
messed
kid
up.
today, and this kid, but he looks at crazy. Like, you the owner? And Craig, he keeps going on, Craig, whatever, and then
Yeah.
and then
And I'm
Craig's like,
like,
no,
no.
he is. And then he starts pitching this knife idea. How he's gonna make tops so great, and how much.
And then
he
he's
can
like,
bring.
"What do you
And then
think?"
I'm like,
And Leo's like, "He's the owner."
I'm just kidding. He's the owner. And he's like, fuck you guys.
You learned today, kid. That's how we roll around here, dude. Yeah. Just like that. I just don't, now that being a fortune fire and everything helped me gave me a bigger platform to reach out and start with I.A.C.T. Heck yeah. That's where I use the heck out of it. This is what is actually interesting, because when it comes to I.A.C.T. and the vets and everything, I'll do anything and everything in order to promote the program, in order to enhance their lives and everything. So this is where I use that. And like Craig said, yeah, it's just, it kind of gives validity to what you're doing. And when it comes to I.A.C.T, well, I needed whoever I was approaching to know that, I'm legit, because this is a nonprofit organization, and a lot of people put a lot of trust in you being a nonprofit organization. So you need to put everything, all your credibility on the line, and you need to load everything. So they give you something.
And you need to have some kind of a resume.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
No matter what, you need to have some kind of a resume that's going to back up you getting this.
Yeah, absolutely. And now that it's being in Fortune Fire and and win, and even just being in Fortune Fire in general, even if you didn't win, it's a big accomplishment, because not everybody goes,
No,
right?
absolutely.
But
Absolutely.
it is true that some and I mean, unfortunately, there's some people who almost feel the need to let people know that they were there. Like,
Yeah, they introduce themselves as, "Hi, I'm this Fortune Fire champion."
yeah, and I
It's like part of their name.
I made a cup of in Atlanta last year where they're like that. It's like, dude, you don't. I mean, I think I never talked about this to them or anything, but I just think about it like, man, you don't have to start with that. It's so. But I can understand that some people love.
Do you ever want to tell them, like, I'd whip your ass?
You're like, me too.
Let's
So
forge-
what?
Yeah,
I saw 2 forks outside. Come on, look at it. I brought my own. Come on, let's go.
if people
episode
brag
was
like that to
easy.
me, I would definitely. I'm like, I've been there twice.
Yeah.
You want to
Yeah,
get
it's like, I saw your episode. Your challenge was
you
easy.
sucked. Do it out in the winter, like
You
I
got
did,
lucky.
motherfucker.
It's funny when it comes to the episode is that I was never. Somebody asked me, "Were you nervous?" I was not nervous, because for one thing, I found out that I was the only one who did not use Cold Forge. All right, and we used Cold Forge in my episode. We did it outside. I was the only one who had no idea how to do Cold Forge. So when I found that out, when I met everybody, I was like, "Oh, okay, I'm done. It's just I hate coal. I don't know how to use it and everything." So my attitude changed. I thought, you know what? I'm gonna be the wedding crasher. I'm gonna go and dance. I'm gonna eat shrimp. I'm gonna dance with the bride. And if I get kicked out of there, kicked out, I was not supposed to be there in the first place. Then I'm gonna enjoy my time. So the whole time I was there, I enjoy every single minute of it. Now that I started moving up in the ranks, and then in the final, I was not expecting that at all. And so that's why I was never nervous, and I enjoy the heck. I'm not a competitive person.
Did you ever do the cold forge like that again?
I'm sorry.
Do you
What?
have do you have one set up in your place
Done
now?
it back at home?
Hey, what?
Did it become
the
Cold Forge?
Cold Forge.
Did it become
No, I
your-
don't.
It's not your thing.
So you just
I
use
don't
it there, and that was it.
I hate coal.
He's still.
I hate coal because it's dirty. It's hard to maintain, and I know I'm gonna get a lot of problems like from Coal Forge guys and everything. No. If you want one, get one. Go for it. But and no, I just don't like it. It's dirty, and if you do it semi indoors, you need to have escape, because if you don't, you basically die of smoke inhalation.
Yeah, it'll be really bad for your lungs.
It's really bad. So, and where I live, you need to drive about an hour and a half to go and get coal. So it's not convenient at all. But
I think a lot of people do it more to take it back old school.
it's very for a lot of people very nostalgic. It is, and it kind of it's like the romantic idea, romanticize the idea of that.
Yeah.
But they're only the two advantages that I see. The practically advantage is that a coal forge will concentrate the heat in one single spot. So if you're doing ornamental stuff, that you only need one area of the piece of steel to be hot, then you can just put it right on top and it heats that area. If you put it inside of a propane forge, it heats up the whole piece.
Yeah.
The other thing is that it's quiet. I mean, propane forges are loud. They can be loud. That's about it.
Yeah, you got that. Go.
Yes.
Yeah, you constantly have that jet sound.
That is about it. Any other? I mean, I'm sure that those guys who are using coal forge and everything more often than me, like basically everybody else.
Yeah, they're listing off
they'll
all
know.
the other advantages.
Yeah, they're gonna send me a list.
Let us know.
They're gonna
Let us know in the
let us
comments.
know.
Yeah.
But other than that, I that's pretty
We'll
much.
make sure. Josh
Yeah, we will definitely make sure he knows all of the things he missed.
Yeah, but I ain't gonna change my mind anyway. So yeah. But
Oh, we got to pause again.
You know, I'm just gonna hit this again. So you don't have to be a vet to get into your program, or do you?
so yes,
You do have to be a vet.
yeah, you have to be a vet or former first responder.
Fuck, Josh, we're gonna try to set up a.
Well, I can give.
trip.
No, I can
You can
actually
make exceptions.
But I do actually. So that's through I.A.C.T. But I do have NK Forge, which is my business. So I give classes to
So say I'm gonna get a group of
civilians.
guys.
Yes.
Five of us are going down.
Yeah, I've done that.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I have done that. I've done family of 4, for example, mom, dad, and 2 kids. I've done just recently. I got 4 friends, longtime friends. They all, after they graduate from college, I think they just all moved to different states, and once a year they do one something together. I thought that was pretty cool.
That's awesome.
And I was very happy that the guy, and one of them who set this up, lives in Portland. He found me, and he said that he thought it was a great idea. They came down. They all 3 flew in for like the whole week to spend the time together, and then they took 3 days. It was a 3-day class.
So you do it like Friday, Saturday, Sunday, or do you do?
I can do it in the week too.
Oh, okay.
So I
You prefer
accommodate.
in the week, right? Just a weekend for your family.
Yes. So Saturdays is when I have my time for the family and everything. But yeah, they came over and we learned. They learned. A lot of instructors will say, no, you have to start making 1,000 leaves or 1,000 nails, and like, nah, heck no.
Yeah, I've heard that.
These guys have never done anything like this before. They're all white collar workers. They learn how to do canister Damascus and Gomai on this 3-day class.
Holy shit.
With a handle, with the wood handles, the whole shebang, and it was only not only one blade. They made 2, and they all 4 loved it. It was like one of the biggest things they ever made.
Explain what Gomai is.
Gomai is a Japanese word that means 3 layers. So you have
And so a lot of people have heard of Sanmai.
yes.
What's the difference
sorry.
between Sanmai and Gomai?
Sanmai it translates to 3 layers. Gomai translates to 5 layers. So
okay.
if you do Sanmai, then you can have like a jacket or sides of mild steel if you want, and high carbon steel core, and in the middle you sandwich those 3 together. You flatten them up, and then that's how you do the Sanmai. If you do Gomai, well, you basically add 2 more layers in between, and then you have 5 layers. So what I do is I do the jacket on the side, and then I put a sheet of pure nickel or 50 and 20, and then the hard carbon steel core, and then you flatten the same thing, and you basically draw it. So that is, but these guys learn canister Damascus. The canister is you have the square tubing, and you fill out with powder steel and everything else that you want. It could be chainsaw, nails, whatever you want, and then you flatten it, and you draw it, and then you get that pattern. So what we did is we did a canister, we flattened that up, we extended, we cut it in half, and that was our jacket. And so we added a piece of nickel on the sides and 8670 core, and then we did the Sanmai. So these guys learned these 2 advanced processes, because these are not just beginners processes. These 2 processes in 3 days.
Damn.
And we had
And
no
their knives
failures.
came out pretty solid. Wow.
We have no delaminations.
That's really
We have
How do you test your blade after you made a blade?
I sharpen it the way I always do all of them. I don't do special sharpening when I'm testing. Once I sharpen and everything, I either do rope or cut it in a 2x4. Or now, one thing that I do when I'm testing a new design is that I make 3 blades, and I heat treat all of them. Follow the sketch and everything, and then I grab one and I sacrifice one. I snap it in half to see the grain.
Oh, to see the grain. Okay.
Yeah.
Yep.
Once I get the grain, if I see the grain that is good, then I know that the other 2 are great. But if not, then okay, that means that I might have to redo the heat treatment on the other two. I tell that to all my students to go ahead and do more than one, because you don't want to sacrifice the only blade that you made in all those hours.
Yeah.
So do 3 at the same time, and sacrifice one of them. You don't feel bad about the third one. You have the other 2. But that tells you, and then keep practicing that until you get it right. So then after you position, the cutting edge, then cut, again, rope, wood, whatever, and branches, and just keep checking the edge, and then you can tell which.
You ever go like to nails or wire?
Nah, those extreme tests. I really don't do those. Because that's not a normal task. If I wanted to actually, if I was gonna go ahead and cut nails in half, I'm not gonna use a knife. I do just. I put my mindset in like, okay, what if my customer, if it's a bushcrafter or a woodworker or somebody else, what kind of stuff they will be making with this particular blade? All right, I'll go ahead and just find the material and start cutting, doing what are those feather sticks, or doing this and doing that and everything, and then I just check the edge and see how it is, and then that's because that's a normal, to me that's kind of a normal, task. Also, a lot of people are very, very obsessed with how sharp their blades are.
Yeah.
To me, in my opinion, a sharp edge is like water. Water is going to find its own level. So if you have a blade that it was heat treated in a way and it's super, super sharp, that is not going to last. You're going to cut once or twice and it's going to stay sharp to its own level where it's going to stay sharper the longest. You know what I mean? So again, if you have a super thin, super sharp, you're going to cut once and twice and that sharpness is going to go away, but it's still going to stay sharp, but at its own level. So my blades, I always do convex. All of them are convex. I use belts. So I get convex, to me is the strongest edge that you can get.
For chopping.
Yeah, for chopping, yeah. So yeah. When I do chef knives and everything, then I use that little Lansky contraption to have a more straight line.
More
flatter.
Mm-hmm.
I use a Bird King.
Yeah.
Leo has no patience for sharpening a knife. No patience whatsoever.
I struggle with that because the same issue is like, oh my God, it takes such a long time to get a good.
I don't blame him.
Yeah.
But he has no patience. No. He will not sit down at a sharpening stone and sharpen a knife. He will not do it.
Yeah. No.
Yeah. Which I don't have a problem with.
I've been doing it so long on the machine, having the machines there.
Yeah.
And then
2 minutes is sharp.
There,
Why? Why would you sit down for an hour and sharpen a knife?
I think I can put a decent edge on the machine. I'm like, yeah.
Knives need to be sharp enough to do the task that they were designed for.
Yep.
I just don't understand why some
your
people
axe should not have to shave your hair off your arm. There's
for
no
why?
reason.
You know what
There's
I mean?
no reason for that.
There's really no.
Once you hit a
reason,
rock, you go through that log and you hit a rock.
There you go.
It's gone.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Oh, look, it's dull right here.
Yeah.
Even if you don't hit a rock, 2 or 3 pieces of wood into it, that shaving edge is gone.
It's gone. So depending on the task, if it's a convex, an ask is perfect because it's going to retain.
Yeah, convex is the way to go.
That's right. I knew it.
He doesn't understand what we're talking about. What's the difference between convex and hollow?
A convex grind is like and flat. Okay, so convex is when the grind comes down and then it comes a convex, like another angle, basically.
No.
Then I don't know.
Keep going. Okay.
What's a hollow? So what's a hollow?
No idea.
Okay.
What's the flat? God damn it, John.
I'm guessing a flat.
It's a flat.
Real quick, a flat is a straight line. A
Yeah.
convex is curved like this, and a hollow is curved like this.
Why would you want a hollow grind?
Because
Hollow grinds are badass.
razor blades.
That's
hollow
where you
grind.
get the sharpest edge.
Like you ever seen
get.
a barber with a fucking straight razor shaving people's faces? That's a hollow grind.
That's a hollow grind.
Because you want that steel as thin as possible.
But you don't want that type of grind on a chopper because the chopper is going to encounter shock. So that edge is going to chip.
Hollow grind's not strong.
Yeah. So, but if you put a convex in a
split.
machete or something,
It's meant to. do
It'll
this.
wedge things out of the way.
it's not prone to chipping as much as the hollow grind. So again, and I don't make it very very I don't complicate myself by trying to do different grinds. I just do this and this. So I'm a very basic type of guy. I don't get very technical on things. All I need to know is this is good and this is bad. Right. And yeah, a lot of guys, they get really very technical, and when it comes to the steel and grinds, I don't have the time for that. I'm a very basic, so that's how I run my classes. I don't get into complicated stuff. I don't get very I don't get nerdy into that. I get, okay, this steel is good, you guys. This steel is bad. That's how I run, and everybody loves that. So 10%. So in my classes, 10% is theory, and 90% is just you guys beating the hell out of a piece of steel.
Yep.
Yeah, we learn. I don't have him sit down here. I'm gonna draw you something, guys, here, and pay attention. Nah, I'm not like that. I'm like, okay, get your apron, put your glass on, let's go ahead and hit some shit. That's the way I teach, and everybody loves that. So
now, Josh, we've been talking about what you currently do, what let's go back.
Okay,
where do you come from? How did you get into this? Give me.
Yeah,
middle school Josh.
Why did you decide to start making knives?
Yeah, give me middle school Josh. The middle school Josh, was this your dream? What did you want to do?
Yeah, I've always had this crazy creative mind. I've always been involved in something, making something with my hands, and I think that to my shop teacher in high school, because he was the one who introduced me to woodworking, mostly turning stuff, wood turning. And I left it for a while, but then I picked it up again, the wood turning. I got a wood turn, a lathe and everything. I started making pans and bowls and everything. So about 13 or 14 years ago, I went to the wood store where I used to get the wood to turn. And there was this other guy right there looking for wood for his handles for knives. So we started a conversation. That's when I found out that he was a knife maker, and he showed me a knife that he made, and I looked at it, and I'm like, instead of saying, man, this is really cool, the first thought in my head was, how hard is this to make? And then the next day, that same day, I went.
What, how old were you with this? You think?
It was like 14 years ago, about 13, 14 years ago. So it was like, so was it 47 minus 14?
So you were in your 30s.
In my 30s.
Oh, really? So this wasn't.
No.
So you haven't been making knives since you were a teenager or anything?
No. But I've always making something.
Yeah.
My whole thing was about making something, and with knife making. When I discovered knife making, and I started reading more about it, I realized, oh, you know what? I can probably do this. And then all of a sudden, I sold my lathes. I have full-size lathes. I had a robust just to do bowls, and I had a jet lathe. I sold it, and I started getting equipment for knife making. And it snowballed from there. And then from there, I started with stock removal. I did not start forging, though, because I started in the basement of my house. And I couldn't have a forge down there. I asked.
Oh, probably not. That's probably a bad idea.
Yeah, I told my wife, like, can I? She just looked at me like, are you stupid? I'm like, oh my God.
How long have you been married?
about 14 years now. Happily married. 14
So you started making knives and then you got married?
It was after I got married.
Oh, okay.
So something like that. But yeah, it snowballed from there. And it was something that I had an outlet for. And people start finding out. And that's something funny. When people start finding out what you do, like me, knife making, all your loved ones are going to start buying you every single stupid little knife that they found in Goodwill or in garage sales. And they bring them to you and say, hey, look what I got you. And like, what is this? Like, you like knives, right? Oh, Jesus Christ, not this piece of crap. But of course, you still love them. So then after that, I started making more knives, and then I've always had this, and I think it's just human nature. You want to teach, I think that's one. To me, it's a very true. The whole willingness to teach something, and then that's when I start teaching others, and that's where my first vet that I teach was actually my home shop. The one that you were going to see in the show, that little thing two shops. That's where I taught my first class to a vet. And it was amazing. It was great. And that's when I knew, bing, that's what I want to do. And then just, I'm here now with these amazing people here. And if it wasn't for knives.
John has never felt so good in his life.
Yeah, well, you guys don't give him enough compliments.
That
You
was the-
just
no, I
you
just-
are so
that
mean
was
to
the
him.
biggest
I do.
compliment
We
he's
give him a
ever
lot of shit, but I give him a lot of compliments.
Yeah, in your own way.
No, I do.
No, he
Yeah,
does.
okay.
He does.
Oh, okay.
He does. Usually in private, but
Oh, nice.
sometimes he does it in front of others.
Oh, okay. And sometimes they're the quiet compliments. You don't know what it is, but
We
there's-
talk a lot of shit, but John works hard. John's a good dude.
That's good. Well, I mean, if you're not working hard, they will not keep you around.
That's
That's one thing. So it's good. So if you still have a job right now, it means that you're doing it.
Yeah, because Lord knows I've tried to fire him a lot.
Try to find every single excuse
Yes,
possible,
Leo
right?
won't let me fire him. Not yet.
John, you smell funny
Yeah.
today. What's going on? Yes.
breathing too hard.
You're sweating too hard.
Too much oxygen.
But yeah, that's basically how I started, and then snowball from there. So
30s, huh? That's awesome.
yeah, it's definitely been a journey. It's been great.
Your
it's-
buddy, the one that we met in Portland,
Starlin.
Starlin, does he still do it?
Yeah, Starlin. His company is called Don Cuchillos.
Yeah.
And Starlin, I know him for like 20 some years. I know him for a long time, and he's such an amazing human being. He when he first started, it was because I asked my friends on Facebook who would like to learn how to make knives, because at that time I kind of sort of needed help, a little help, and he hit his midlife crisis. And that's why he wanted to do something like that. And he came to the shop. He started learning and everything. And it was hilarious to see him work. The first time he used a 2x72, his glasses were foggy because he was so like stressed out about it and everything. It was hilarious. And then he just fell in love with it. And he started making blades, here and there. And then he opened his own his own company and everything.
Wow,
and
nice.
his own brand, and now he opened his own power wash business and so a lot of stuff. So he's working on for himself now, which is great. He has his own business, and he's trying to find more time to make more knives. And he's actually part of the board for I.A.C.T.
Nice.
because I know him so much and I trust him completely 100%. That's why I want him to be part of the board too, because I knew that he will appreciate what we're doing, and he's been sort of part of this journey as well. Awesome. Such a great guy and everything, and he wants to. And we have actually a little kind of live show that we call Sharp Talk, and we started a few years back, and it kind of died down a little bit, and then we picked it up again a couple of weeks ago. So yeah, we just sit down in front of the phone and we do live Facebook, live. And we're supposed to be talking about knives. Nah, we're just eating tacos, and he's drinking his beer and I'm drinking like whatever I'm drinking, and we're just joking around. And we never talk about knives, So, but
Nice.
yeah,
We should start eating tacos on the podcast.
yeah. I'm telling you, taco.
This
I like
is
that idea.
This is a missed opportunity, I think.
It's great. Once you do it, man, you don't stop. So careful with that. So he's doing great. But yeah,
awesome.
and now we have this organization. I have my company and everything, and great support from everybody. And I don't see myself quitting. I'm so involved in it, and I'm so too into it now to quit. And our vets need it. Our kids need it. Those communities really need it, and if I'm able to help just a little bit, then I'll do it.
That's awesome.
Because I don't want to go to bed and think about what it could have been.
Right.
I'm gonna have to give it a shot. I had to give it a shot, and if it doesn't work out, I told my wife, babe, I'll pull out. I'll sell everything. I don't care. I'll sell everything, and I'll just go back to my small little shop at home and go back to my boring, job, and I'll be happy because now. But I guess I knew that I gave it a shot.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So, and now that's where we at now, and I don't see this really dying down. So, but of course, we always need the support. We need as much support as possible and everything because we're doing great things. And
Yeah, no, it sounds like it. Sounds that, like I said, just us hearing, I'm like, damn, how could we get out there?
Yeah,
it does. It
yeah.
sounds fun.
yeah, no, and I really want to thank, and hopefully he listens to the podcast, Steven from Black Horse Forge. He was one of the pioneers in this idea of providing free classes to vets with PTSD. And he was a huge help when I started this, because he was the one. He gave me some information, some guidance and everything. So I really thank him for this, because he was the one who really kind of helped me solidify the idea. And then I took it further into 80 some hours of instruction and mentorship programming. I always take everything so far sometimes. Because I do the potential, right? Yeah. But he was the one who would really help out a lot. So hopefully he listens to the podcast, and I give him huge kudos for that. And I love the guy to that. He's also the type of guy that just does everything. He's a vet himself, and so yeah, I love the guy. And
That's awesome.
A lot of people that is really helping.
So if you're listening to this and you're in anywhere near Salem and Kaiser, Oregon,
Yes.
where do they go?
So the address is 3820 River Road North in Kaiser. And
You got a website running? You got a
Yes, it is www.I.A.C.T. OR altogether. So it's I.A.C.T. Oregon, it's just the OR, .com.
so IACTOR.com.
Correct.
Okay. Got it.
And that's where you can get a lot of information. But the best thing to do is just send me, when you go to the website, read what's going on, but send me an email with any questions that you might have. And really quick also, for those who cannot commit to all those hours of training for the program, we're gonna start opening either Mondays or Tuesdays, one whole day for whatever any vet that wants to sign up, just to go through for one day, to go and forge something and everything.
Yeah, just to get the
just
idea.
to get just for that. Yeah. So that's their original idea, right? And we're gonna open that one day a week. So you can sign up online, and we'll update the website pretty soon, where you can sign up through Corsizio and then get your spot, and either Tuesday or Monday or Tuesday. So you can just come one day if you want, if you don't know how you cannot commit, and enjoy the place. No cost, just come and just enjoy your day with no expectations, no nothing. Just do it.
That's awesome. Yeah, that'll sort of get them in there. And, I know a lot of people will be nervous, shy. They're like, well, but give it a try.
Yeah,
give it a try. I guarantee this is something fun.
It's better than talking to a shrink.
Yeah, seriously.
Yeah.
Seriously.
Go beat on some steel for a few hours.
No, absolutely. And sadly, we know about some of our brothers and sisters who did not get a chance to experience something else, and they end up, shooting themselves.
Yeah, or something.
We know that, and I truly strongly feel that, if we can provide them maybe another thing that they can try at least. This is not a silver bullet. Will never be a silver bullet, but it's just one more thing that we can try to help them out.
Absolutely.
And I hear stories about families and everything where they tell me, with tears in their eyes, saying, yeah, my loved one, my brother, or whatever, that committed suicide and everything. And I feel, because, man, if I could have the chance to bring that person in, hey, grab a hammer. Let's do something. Let's make something. Let's see if you like it. Let's see, if this brings something to you. And then I'll show you what else you can do just with the skills. You can teach a kid. You can, mentor a kid. You can, fulfill, somebody, and give them another chance to. I kid you not. I truly believe that many of them, all they needed, just one chance, to show that they can still be part of the community.
Yeah, true. Very true. Well, Josh, really appreciate having you. This has been awesome.
Thank you, guys.
I know, I we're gonna talk shit, and but really getting into this, you feel this, what you do and the love you put into it. It's
Yeah.
It's badass.
Yeah, more people should put time into helping others. It's cool what you're doing.
Yeah, and I want to show my daughter that it's a good thing to give.
Yeah.
And she's gonna.
Hopefully,
learn
this is
that.
something she can take over someday.
Absolutely.
And then that's awesome.
Absolutely.
That's awesome.
Well, thank you guys for having me. I really appreciate
absolutely.
it. John, you too. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, thanks, John. Thanks, guys.
Yeah, thanks, John. Yeah, but everybody, appreciate you guys.
So yeah, check out IACTOR.com. You also have an IACT Facebook page,
Yes.
Instagram.
Yeah. Also Instagram.
Yeah, check it all out. It's definitely a worthy cause, and if you're a vet out there struggling, looking for something to do, go beat on some steel.
Go
man.
pound some steel. There's, a lot of people think like, shit, nobody wants to hire me, nobody wants this. You can make a steady income if you get pounding metal just right.
Yep.
Which is not hard.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of opportunity out there.
Yeah. Just give it a shot.
Appreciate it, guys.
All right, take care, and we'll see you on the next one.
Peace out.